In 2001, Usher and the Neptunes collaborated on the smash hit You Don't Have to Call, straight off of his 2001 album 8701 or 8701. I don't exactly know how you're supposed to say it. Either way, in this video, we are making a Neptune style beat for Usher. Let's go. Man, there isn't a lot that I want to say about Usher other than the fact that the man just has had an amazing year. My Way turned 25 this year, and he has had that amazing Tiny Desk episode, which featured 2022's most viral moment. Which in turn featured or sparked 2022's best memes ever. So I'm super psyched to finally be doing a video about the man. The man has been fundamental in my love for R&B, and well, you know, let's just get it poppin'. Now, the main ingredients for this beat are of course the Chord Triton, a synth that was heavily used in this particular time period, and a Neptunes drum kit by the Lunch 77. I shouldn't have to tell you how to get that drum kit, and your way of acquiring VSTs may differ a little bit from mine, but nonetheless, those are the things you need if you want to make beats in this style. Let's get it poppin'. Now, beautiful folks, I think that a lot of you will agree with me that having a good chord progression is the best way of starting this up. So we're going to break down the chord progression. As you can see, I have written this chord progression in the beautiful key of F minor, and you can see that I'm rocking with the 4th degree, an A sharp minor 9th chord right here. I am rocking with the 1st degree, an inverted F minor 7 chord right here, and then I go to my 5th degree, which is an inverted C minor 7 chord right here. So I'm basing my chord progression around the 4th degree, the 1st degree, and the 5th degree, and I'm just playing around with that a little bit. So this is just a general overview of the chords, and I want to spend a little bit time to the theory behind this chord progression. The Neptunes, in my opinion, have a particular way of writing their chord progressions that I really can't lay my finger on, but it's not like they use anything intricate. It's the way that they rhythmically play these chords, and that's something that I've tried to do with using this first chord. Now, you guys may know that the first chord, the 1st degree, is a chord that you want to put a lot of emphasis on, but what I decided to do is just use the shit as a passing chord to lead into my 5th degree. So that's what I'm doing. So you can check out this little preview right here, and you can listen to how I'm just using the 1st degree as a passing chord to go into my 5th degree. So when it comes to using actual music theory techniques, the only thing I did was play around with the chord voicings. And two ways of doing that are by extending your chords, say from a regular triad to a 7th chord or a 9th chord, but I'm also using chord inversions. In terms of concepts, you can look into voice leading a little bit to understand why I went with that F up top in the last chord of the chord progression instead of, say, a regular minor chord based on the 1st degree, or just, you know, have the chord repeat itself. So if you're interested in those concepts, go and Google them. So let's take a closer look at the sounds that I use to make this beautiful beat. Now, all the sounds that I use come from the Chord Triton, of course, a super famous synth used in that time period, and I chose them because of their similarity to the general ensemble that I hear in You Don't Have to Call. So I mostly went with strings, I went with a Claire, I went with that classic strato patch that you hear in a lot of Neptunes productions. I went with a regular bass, and in terms of drums, it's a lot of percussion to really get that patented Neptune percussion sound. So I'm going to be playing you beautiful folks the entire chords and melody section, and then we're going to take a quick closer look at all of the individual elements. So So the first patch that we are rocking with is a patch called the Chorus E Guitar, which gives you that quintessential classic staple must-have Neptune sound. You've heard it in the chord progression, but I'm gonna play it for y'all just for the sake of repetition. Then we've got our second patch, a basic simple clav patch, also part of that quintessential basic must-have Neptunes repertoire, which basically does kind of a melody, which you can hear right here. Now a closer listen and You Don't Have to Call reveals that an electric piano is doing some mad work in that beat. So I had to include one of mine and I chose the Dynotine electric piano from the Triton to do just that. Check it out. Oh, and strings were a fundamental part of R&B, not just a fundamental part of this beat, not just of that album, but a fundamental part of R&B up until 2010 and even beyond that. So of course I had to get my scoring strings patch from the Triton to do some work. I took out a second patch of the scoring strings because I wanted to add a little staccato melody for in the hook, doing just that. There isn't much that I can say about the bass other than that I got a fat bass, which is the electric bass pick 2 from the Triton. Just putting in that work, low key. And then to top it off, I added another more dreaming electric piano, which is the flying electric piano, closing off the set. Now, all of that makes for an amazing melody section. It's true, it's damn true. But a Neptunes type beat is as much defined by its melody section as it is defined by its drums. So let's go and do that just a little bit. So that drum kit by the Lunch 77 is doing mad work, even though I hear he's been falling off the deep end a little bit, which is sad to hear, but he's still a GOAT. So anyway, that drum kit is doing a lot of work, and in this overview, you can see exactly which sounds I use for my kick, my snare, and my hat, and the sounds that I use to get my percussion going on. And what you're about to see is me just gradually introducing you to all of the elements of the drum beat until you get the full picture. And one thing I would really love for y'all to do is to go back and listen to it closely, especially when it comes to the percussion. Because what I've done, what I've tried to emulate as much as possible, even though I've taken a little bit of liberties, is to make sure that every element of percussion is complementing each other. See, the way I saw it, the kick and the snare are the anchors of the beat, and the hi-hat, yes, it does fill up a little bit of that with the 8 notes, but there's so much room for your percussion. So each layer of percussion, and I think I've got about 5 or so, is complementing, is filling up the space that is left behind by the other element. So, you know, if you take like a bottom to the top approach and you add your cherry on top, I feel that that's a great way of coming to a full arrangement of percussion that really complements your beat and gets you that Neptune style. Now, me personally, I am of the opinion that you cannot make a 2000s R&B beat, especially one for Usher, especially one by the Neptunes, without including a dope little bridge. So that's exactly what I did. And I may have mentioned it before, but an easy way for people to introduce a bridge in their beat is to just write a chord progression that really feels like it's working towards a climax. And you can see it in the general movement of this chord progression. It's gradually going up and up and up till it's up. Shout out to Cardi, until it finally reaches a climax, and I've done that by utilizing my 6th degree, which is a major chord in the minor scale, which is a C sharp major 7 chord right here, drops down to the 5th degree, which we know the C minor 7 chord, but I've raised that third to make it a dominant chord, goes back to the 1st degree, and then it starts going up and just like that. But you know, I'm more of a show don't tell kind of guy, so please listen to that beautiful chord progression. I've of course arranged all the elements so that it fits the bridge, so y'all go and check that out and let me know how you enjoyed it. And that makes it a wrap, beautiful folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I definitely enjoyed making this video, and I hope to see y'all in the next. Y'all be easy. Peace.